In this episode, we might get started on the doors. Okay, so our progress so far, I've got both doors have been nicely painted. I still need to take them outside, give them a nice buff down. Hasn't turned out too bad. Some bits are really nice. Slight orange peel on it. It's sort of like, orange peel is a weird thing. After you've sort of painted for a bit, you look at it like a manufactured car, and then you sort of go up close and go, oh, there's orange peel. But it's one of those things, though. But I still want to get it as good as I can. What I'm working on at the moment are the quarter vent windows. So this side is the left-hand side. Openers on the inside. So what I've done, I've replaced the seal on it. The hardware to fix that in, so it's meant to have special washers because of the shape of the shaft on there. So a washer which has a rectangle hole in it. I managed just to use like a normal washer and then file it to make it fit how I need to support it, but that seems to work alright. So what I'm going to show you, I'm going to set up the GoPro and then show you how to fit the rubber seal. It's not that difficult. But it is a bit fiddly trying to get it on and make it stay on because it's been curled up in a packet. So here, I don't know, that might have to fix up that bit. But alright, so that's what I'll get started with now. There we have it. That was a bit of a struggle to get that rubber on, just to make sure it stays in the track properly. Well, there we have it. Okay, so I'm just continuing the video about the doors for the Australian Morris Cooper. I think I left off last time, because it's been a while, because I've been waiting for parts to come, but I think I left off just fitting the door, and I don't really think I showed much more than that, apart from putting the vent window together. So I've put this driver's side door all together, and I wanted to do that just so I understand how it all goes together. I've got the passenger side door still to do, so that's what I'm going to record and do a bit of footage so you can see how things are meant to go together. So I'll just give you a quick overview, but you'll see more when it gets done. So driver's door, you can lock and unlock with the key. To open the door, pull down on the handle. Okay, we'll open it up. Interior here, it still needs the door panel fitted. I need to wait to buy that kit. This lever here opens the door from the inside, so you pull up on that and the little knob there comes in. That's the winder to wind the window up and down. Now, the reason why the Australian Minis, they went with this sort of design window, because it's much hotter here than in the UK, and having this little vent window here allowed the driver to be a little bit cooler when driving in hot conditions. But it's still a bit stiff because the rubber is new. There we go. So provide them with a bit of ventilation. Alright, so I'll leave it there, and I'll get started on putting the passenger side door together. Okay, so here's the passenger side door. All the hardware has been taken out except for this piece here. What that actually is, it's one of these, so that's the identical part here, and it sits, this section here on it is kind of like wrapped around that continuation of the main bar that goes in the door. So that's sort of sitting there on each side of it. And the purpose of this, let's get that to focus, the purpose of that is to allow the door handle to open, and then also from inside the remote opener here, that long lever there, that piece connects onto here, and then it allows the door to be opened from the inside. So that's the purpose of that. The first bit of hardware I need to fit is the actual handle. Now, according to the manual I've got here, that's sort of showing you the order that things go on the lock door. Passenger side doesn't actually have a key, so, and that's normal, and the way the shims are put on there aren't exactly the same as the diagram, so I'll have a little play with that and then see how that fits in, because it needs to use this piece here to allow the door to, or the door handle to spring. This focus is really annoying me. Okay, there we go. Anyway, that spring is that piece there on the diagram, and it's designed to keep the actual handle level like that, horizontal. Keeps the handle horizontal rather than letting it dip down slightly. So I'll have a play and fit that together. There's a rubber seal that goes on there too. Okay, so I want to fit on this part here. Get it out of the bag so you can see what it is. So this is a little rubber stopper, which pretty much just keeps the door handle level. So this little rubber stopper, the door handle sits up in there, like that. Okay, so the next struggle I need to deal with is this piece here. So that's the spare one I've got here, and I just want to show you the position of all this, just in case you ever need to fit one of these because it's missing in the door. So in order to get this remote bar on, you need to make sure that piece, which is this piece here, which is just a duplicate, you need to make sure that is at the bottom of the door where it is now. So that can slide off if I just squeeze it a bit more. I actually wasted time bringing that all the way to the top and then realised I couldn't get this rod onto it. So to show you the position of that rod, this is for the left-hand door. So the larger opening goes towards that connection piece here, and this square section is what the door handle will go into. Down this end, you'll notice at the end of the rod tilts up slightly. So that end tilts up slightly and also moves away or towards the outer part of the door. So you can see the bend in it, what direction that bends, like that. And that piece will go on afterwards though. So the smaller end is for the actual remote lever, and then the larger end goes down onto this pivoting pin. Okay, so I'm going to get this rod back into the door and then hook it onto that piece there. But I'll do that off camera, so it's not that hard to get in there. And then it's a bit of fiddling around to actually get this to go all the way back up to the top again. But that's what I'm going to try and do next. Okay, so with this piece sitting at that angle there, you're able to get this rod on, and then it's a matter of just getting that to bend down again. So the position that it's in, it needs to, at the moment it's like that, but it needs to be in that position in order to bring it back up, all the way up to here where it needs to sit. So that, how it is now, it's sitting like that. I just need to turn it like that, then bring it up. Alright, so the next thing to do, we need to fit the actual door lock. So get it the right way round. So the curved part obviously is on the inside of the door. So when you close it, it'll close and hit the striker plate and then move in. The way it works, only the passenger door has the little snipper button, and it actually works in the opposite way to a modern day car, in which you need to push down to actually unlock the door, but lift up to lock it. Okay, so here's the little snipper button. I'm not sure whether this is actually a 3D printed part, because it does look a bit like that, but it may not be. The way that works, that just screws in. I think these are only available in black. I got it from one of the online mini stores in Australia. I can't remember which one. Alright, I'll adjust that a bit more once it gets screwed in. So again, these are these standard size screws I'm going to use. I do think that these are not the correct ones, but I ordered them and it said for the door, so I don't know whether maybe they are correct. Alright, so just to finish up on this part here, I ended up cutting the actual screw, the post that this screws onto, just to make the button sit a bit lower. So, because every time it was lifting up, it was just being exposed. So now that sits in a bit better. So press it down, down is unlock. Alright, so the next thing I need to do now is just realign this link piece inside. So that part is what attaches to the door handle, the square part coming out of the door handle. Now this part here, I need to put the pin through, and the pin will come out here. And I'll just open up that packet just so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so that's the pin. the screw and washer come off, and the pin gets inserted from the inside, comes out here, and then this screw and washer will screw into it from here. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, there we go. So that pin is pushing through there now. So that's all sitting nicely. So I should just be able to put this screw and washer into there, and that secures the pin in place. Now that pin was very difficult to find, but I managed to find a parts supplier in Australia. So I do a quick shout out to Oz Mini Parts. They're in Cardiff, which is near Newcastle, New South Wales. And he's been great. He's been able to provide me with all the parts I need, even the rare parts as well. Okay, so we're at the other end of the door now, and we want to fit this, the linkage mechanism. So this has got just a remote control. So you turn on that lever, and then it moves that rod, which in turn unlocks the door. So I'll just take away this tape. It was just annoying me, just clanging around earlier, so get rid of that. And the way you need to get this piece in there is you just need to turn it 90 degrees to get it through the hole on the link rod. This sits inside the door pretty much in that position right there. So I'm going to fit that in right now. Okay, so once it's in position, I can then get it in the right spot. You can see the red paint. This door was obviously painted that colour previously. So that's kind of how it should line up, assuming it even went in this door. Okay, so these are just the standard size screws, and I actually cut these down a little bit because they do come fairly long. And if I remember, I'll put the part number in the description. There's also this little hole here, and that lines up with a hole on the remote control, and I don't know whether that needs to be there too, whether it's just there to help align things, because it just screws into the main panel. It doesn't really affect anything. Alright, so that's that bit, and that's the replacement handle. Obviously it needs a screw to hold that in as well. And I usually see them sitting in that direction, and then to open the door you lift up. Okay, so if you can remember from when I did the sound deadening, I had a few pieces left over, so I've already attached some of this to the driver's door, which is already on the car. So that is just going to get stuck inside there. Now I've cut them smaller to help them get into the holes better. So that piece I'm going to peel and stick there, and then the second piece will be sort of stuck next to it inside there. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. It sort of just gives the door a bit more, not so much strength, or it just stops that skin from vibrating every time you open or every time you close the door. So I'll get that stuck on now and then give you a look. So there we go. So I've got those two pieces put in. It's probably could put some over here too, but on the door that's already put together, it was easier to access these two panels here. So with the window up, and those areas there don't get affected. Like the window doesn't come close to it there at all. So all right, that's one little bit done now. Extra bit done.